This is the 12th video in a series of 17 videos exploring the book, The Power of Discipline, How to Use Self-Control and Mental Toughness to Achieve Your Goals, by Daniel Walter. In this video, we're diving into Chapter 12, Why You Should Never Try and Do Anything. Have you ever stopped to think about how many times in your life you've said, I'll try to save money, try to change careers, try to start over? But deep down, what really happens after the try? Almost always, nothing. Because try is a word that disguises fear. It sounds positive, but it hides a trap, permission to give up without guilt. After 40, that word becomes even heavier. Life has already shown you that time doesn't wait, and opportunities don't come twice. So why keep trying when what you really need is to do? Daniel Walter, the author of The Power of Discipline, is very clear about this. Removing the word try from your vocabulary is one of the most powerful acts of self-discipline you can make. Because the language you use shapes how your brain interprets what's possible. When you say, I'll try, your brain understands that failure is an acceptable option. But when you say, I will do it, your brain believes the result is inevitable. And it starts working to make it happen. Prosperity works the same way. Many people spend their entire lives trying to organize their finances, trying to save a little every month, trying to invest, trying to change their mindset. And that one word, try, is exactly what keeps them stuck where they are. They think they're taking action, but in truth, they're only postponing it. Think about it. When you try, your brain gives you permission to stop at any time. But when you do, your brain knows there's no room for quitting. That's the moment when discipline becomes your greatest ally. And if you're over 40 and want to prosper, you need discipline now more than ever. After 40, life demands clarity. There's no more time for hesitation. Every decision counts. Every action or inaction creates direct consequences for your financial and emotional future. And that's where the idea of don't try, just do changes everything. Walter explains that disciplined people never say, I'll try. They say, I will. They take command of their own minds and turn decisions into commitments. And that's exactly what separates those who prosper from those who merely survive. Try is the verb of those who live trapped by the fear of failure. Do is the verb of those who free themselves from fear and act with purpose. And that difference between the two defines your path after 40. Imagine someone saying, I'll try to save money this month. The simple use of the word try already opens the door to self-deception. At the end of the month, if they've saved nothing, they can still say, but I tried. And so, month after month, they create a cycle of excuses that slowly destroys their self-confidence. Now imagine someone else who says, I will save 200 Rs this month. They decide, they commit. And the brain understands there's no room for escape. Even if they need to adjust other things, they find a way. Because the decision came before the doubt. That's the power of replacing try with do. And that power is essential for anyone seeking financial prosperity after 40. Because prospering at this stage of life requires courage to decide and discipline to sustain the decision. Have you noticed that life rewards those who act with clarity? Those who decide progress. Those who hesitate repeat. And the word try is the ultimate symbol of hesitation. It keeps you in a permanent rehearsal, never stepping onto the stage. Many mature adults fall into this emotional trap. They say they'll try to start a business, try to study, try to change their lifestyle. But time passes and nothing changes. Why? Because they're trapped in the comfortable illusion of having tried. And having tried is nothing more than a certificate of failure signed before the first step is even taken. To change this pattern, you need to take on a new identity. The identity of someone who does. The achiever is the one who doesn't look for excuses, but for solutions. They understand that it's not about perfection, it's about commitment. And when the mind understands that there is no plan B, it becomes creative, resilient, and powerful. The same principle applies to money. The person who tries to save lives in survival mode. The one who does save lives in building mode. And that difference changes everything. Trying is tied to fear. Doing is tied to faith. Faith in yourself, faith in the process, faith in the future. And faith, in this context, isn't passive belief. It's action with conviction. You act because you believe. And you believe because you've decided to act. Walter mentions the example of Deepak Chopra, who, at 73, still travels the world giving lectures and producing high-energy content. When asked about his secret, Chopra replied, "Don't try, do." Simple, direct, and transformational. That phrase should be written on every mirror of anyone who wants to prosper after 40. Because prospering in this stage of life isn't about luck. It's about mindset. It's about replacing "maybe I can" with "I will." It's about understanding that discipline is freedom, not a prison. And every time you act with determination, you strengthen your confidence. Self-confidence doesn't come from results. It comes from consistency. And consistency begins when you stop trying and start doing. Every small promise you keep to yourself brings you closer to prosperity, because it reinforces the belief that you are capable. And believing in yourself is the first step to unlocking any financial limitation. If you truly want to change your financial life, start by changing your vocabulary. Stop saying, "I'll try to spend less. I'll try to invest. I'll try to change." Replace it with "I will," and then do it. Even if it's just a small step. Because the brain doesn't respond to intentions, it responds to actions. The moment you take action, something shifts inside you. Your mind understands that you're in control, and the universe responds with opportunities. And if there's one thing maturity teaches us, it's that life doesn't reward those who wait. It rewards those who commit. So starting today, make a pact with yourself. Remove the word "try" from your life. Use it only as a reminder of who you once were, not who you are now. You're no longer in the stage of trying. You're in the stage of execution, harvest, and conscious prosperity. Every firm decision you make is a seed planted in the soil of abundance. And what you plant with conviction, life multiplies with generosity. In the end, prospering after 40 is less about financial techniques and more about the identity you choose to live by. Are you someone who tries or someone who does? The answer to that question determines the destiny of your prosperity. Remember, those who try live in expectation. Those who do live in fulfillment. And the difference between the two is discipline. Stop trying to change. Stop trying to save. Stop trying to prosper. Because life always responds to clarity, and clarity begins with one simple decision: I will do it. Did you enjoy the content? Then hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, send this video to more people, and click to subscribe with notifications on. And if you're ready to take the next step to transform your financial life, check out the link right below this video in the first pinned comment.